Welcome to another episode of Mythic Drafting, where today we're going to be drafting another Lord of the Rings draft here. And there's been a lot of discussion about how green is the worst colour in the format, and we've got a green rare here in Delighted Halfling, which I think is a good little Birds of Paradise that can enable some multicolour legend strategies. Other cards for consideration here: Aaron Rider of Gondor, very solid white common. I think Stern's Golden is good in blue. I think Birthday Escape is probably a little bit better in blue. So I think our pick options are really between Delighted Halfling in green and trying to make green work for us, or picking the Birthday Escape and just sticking to the Grixis colours, which I think are the best here in the format. But I think given how underdrafted green has been, let's go ahead and see if we can try and make this one work here and pick up the Delighted Halfling first pick. Now I have a King of the Oathbreakers second pick, which is just a really powerful card, and Delighted Halfling can be used to splash it. There's a lot of ways to splash in green. It's also Stew the Conies, Meriadoc Brandybuck, which are good cards in green. Other cards that are obviously good here: Claim the Precious is probably the best monocolored card in the pack. Lorien Revealed is good as well, but I think King of the Oathbreakers is a good enough threat here that we can pick it up and probably lean towards green-black and splashing as well. But we're going to go where the draft takes us, and a Shadow Summoning third pick here is going to be quite nice, and we can potentially move into white-black and ditch this Delighted Halfling here. There's nothing else really for us in green. There's another Birthday Escape in blue. Ring Sight is not really where you want to be. And then there's a Uruk-hai Berserker and Oliphant if we want to set up a red splash. And I think Protector of Gondor is good as well. But Shadow Summoning is a really solid one in white-black. And after taking a King of the Oathbreakers, I think it's definitely the pick here. Now again, pretty easy pick here. There's an Aaron Rider of Gondor in white. When this card enters the battlefield, you draw a card. If you control a legend, if you don't control a legend, you put one card on the bottom of the library. So very solid one. We've already got one legend. We can look to pick some more up. White looks to be flowing. Worth noting as well, actually, here that a black common has been taken. So that someone's taken a rare, an uncommon, and a black common. So that means that our white-black may not be as open, and we can consider whether or not we want to go. We may want to hedge our bets here a little bit into green, white, or something else white and splashing the black here. And that's a consideration, certainly, to taking Eagles of the North over Lash of the Balrog, or taking like a Westfold Rider. But I think Lash is good enough here that we just want to go ahead and pick this one up. We've already got some ways to create spirit tokens, and white-black has that sub-theme as well. Lash of the Balrog's probably best in white-black. And there's no reason that we can't have multiple, black drafters at a table here. So now there's another Birthday Escape, which is pretty late. Haven't seen much green, which is good. The pick really here, I think, is between Eagles of the North and Uruk-hai Berserker here. And I think we just want to... I think it's pretty close. I think the Berserker is probably just better than the Eagles of the North here, although the flexibility at this early stage of the draft might actually be worth just hedging there and taking the Land Cycler to hedge our bets a little bit there. So now I've got to pick between Sam's Desperate Rescue, Banish from Adoris, and I think we're just going to take the Banish here. It's not the best removal spell ever, but it gets the job done. And it can exile a tapped threat or anything for 5 mana. And you certainly just want to place a premium on removal here. And now we can see like a Gimli Mournful Avenger. It's not the greatest rare, but pretty solid card. Going 8th pick here. I think we just take Council's Deliberation here. I don't think we're going to play any of these cards. And, if we ended up in blue-white, maybe we play that one there. Now, actually, interesting pick here. Birthday Escape on the wheel is a little bit of a sign about blue, but I think we just take Protector of Gondor here. White looks to be open. Protector is really solid, so we'll go ahead and pick that one up. We can also think about picking up a Dunedain Blade. I don't love this one though. I think we just take the Soldier. We don't really want to play either of those cards, but maybe happy to play one. And now we'll take Shelob's Ambush here. I think Shelob's Ambush is a fine trick. Not one we're definitely going to play, but certainly fine. And now we just pick up the Shire Terrace there for a little bit of flexibility. Quarrel's End's also not the worst card, but yeah, I think this is off to a pretty decent start. We could still theoretically move out of black, but not going to be looking to do that. This is a pretty awful pack for us here. Fortune New's not playable. Grond is not good in white-black without the Amass. And then really, there's not really much for us. We could take a Nimble Hobbit, which I don't like in white-black either. Another Eagles of the North. We could take a Mordor Trebuchet. Again, not super solid. The best card in the pack is the Smite the Deathless, but we're not at all red. So, a really bad pack for us to open. We could take a Wizard's Rockets, but again, I don't love that either. So I think the pick's probably just going to be another Eagles of the North, which makes me really wish I took that Uruk-hai Berserker, but it at least allows us to play a 16th land, to only play 16 lands, and just will shore up our mana base. So now we get a Battle of the Bywater. So we destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater, and then create a food token for each creature you control. This doesn't look to be super strong in our deck. It is a Wrath. It can be set up to be a one-sided Wrath, but I just don't think it's where we want to be necessarily. And Eowyn is fine. A 2/4 for 3. And it can give Vigilance and First Strike. It's also a legend for Eren Rider of Gondor, so it's going to do a few things for our deck. I think it's probably the pick here over these other cards. And now there's an Aragon Company Leader, which is certainly a solid one, as well as a Prince Imrahil the Fair. So for a blue-white, that would be nice, but I think we're just going to pick up the Golem's Bite here. Our 3 best cards are probably still all these black cards here. And Golem's Bite is very, very solid. And a removal spell, and I think worth picking up here over trying to hedge into green for some reason and giving up our other premium cards. Now there's nothing for us in this pack in black or white that we want to play. We don't want to play the Warg, the Hobbit, and we're just going to take the Fearfire Foes. This card is absurd. It's really strong, and with the Shire Terrace, I think we can splash it if we get, say, an Oliphant or something similar. Now, I think we just pick up a Fog on the Barrow Downs. Not the best removal spell, but one we're happy to play one of. Now we have an interesting pick. There's a Shire Sheriff, there's an Eagles of the North, and there's an Oliphant and a Torment of Golem. So, would have loved all of these cards over our last few picks. But I think here we're just going to, I could take the Oliphant to try and get this Fearfire Foes, but we've already got Protector of Gondor, King of the Oathbreakers, and Shadow Summoning for tokens. And we're going to potentially be able to pick up some more ways to make tokens and make Shire Sheriff just a removal spell, which would be pretty nice. Now we can take, I think we just take the Wizard's Rockets. I think it does enable us to splash. There's nothing else we really want to play here. We could take Morgul Knife Wound, but I think we already have enough. Starting to sort of get enough removal. No, I think we actually just take the Knife Wound here. I think Morgul Knife Wound is still fine enough that we may want to play that. And the Wizard's Rockets is a really clunky way of splashing and not something I'm particularly interested in doing. I don't really love Second Breakfast either, so not going to pick that one up there. Now we can take a Wizard's Rockets, I think. We're not going to play Ugluk or Grond, and we're not going to play Nimble Hobbit either. So we'll just pick up the Wizard's Rockets in case we need to splash this to get the power level up. And now I'll take a Took Reaper. Again, not really, the most exciting of cards, but one that I'm happy to play a one of. And now we get another Wizard's Rockets. So we could play 2 Wizard's Rockets, but I don't love that option. Would preferably just get an Oliphant or maybe like one more Shire Terrace, and then we can be pretty set to just play one mountain here. So now there's an interesting pick here. There's a Lotho Corrupt Sheriff, which can be good to accelerate you and create treasure, which is good with Shire Sheriff. There's also a Gua here, Mouth of Sauron, another Protector of Gondor. I think we just want to take the Corrupt Sheriff. It's a legend. It can accelerate us with the treasure tokens and really start to churn out some value that way. Yeah, it's not the greatest of cards, but I think we're happy to pick that one up there. And now there's another pretty awful pack for us. Really not much in this pack that we want. There's Mordor Trebuchet and Natharath and Ruin in our colours. And that's it. So we're just going to pick the Oliphant here. And then we're definitely going to splash Fear 5 Foes. We'll just play one mountain and the Oliphant in order to enable that. Now again, we're just getting cut from white in this pack. There's a lot of blue here. But yeah, pretty awful pack for us. I think we just take a Haunt of the Dead Marshes. Not really something we're excited by, but there's nothing else for us in this pack. Like, we're not going to take Ugluk. Sorry, actually. I did not see Grima Wormtongue here. So we'll take Grima. We'll hope to wheel Haunt, but this will enable us to sacrifice and create amass Orc tokens, which can be good with Shire Sheriff. So, yeah, we'll take Grima here. That's actually not that bad at all. And now we're going to pick up a Torment of Golem here over the Westfold Rider. I really like Torment. I think it's a very, very strong card. Really happy to have one of those in the deck. It also plays well with Shire Sheriff in enabling the removal aspect of that card there. So yeah, the deck, certainly not the most exciting, but in our seat, I don't know how much else we were able to do. Now this pack is insane for us. There's a Faramir is just absolutely busted card. At the beginning of your end step, choose an opponent. At the beginning of that player's next end step, you draw a card if they didn't attack. Otherwise, you create 3/1/1s. Amazing card, but I don't think we want to stretch the mana base for it, unless there was only a much weaker option for us. And there's a Denethor Ruling Steward here. You can basically just use this to create infinite tokens. Super solid card. Very happy to pick that one up there. And now I think we're just going to pick up another Took Reaper for the curve here over the second Grima. I think I just want to have some more 2-drops, and the fact that it makes the Ring tempt you is good. We've got a couple of ways of doing that now. Oh, actually, we only have 3, but 3 is better than 2, and at least being able to enable one of them and potentially getting to the second level is nice. So now we can take it East Farthing Farmer, which I'm also happy with because it can create a food token for the Shire Sheriff here. And now I think don't love You Cannot Pass. Don't love the third Took Reaper. But I think we just take old Took here. We don't really want to play that, but it's better than anything else. And we're not splashing blue for anything here. And now we can just pick up some cards and let the other cards flow through to our fellow drafters here. So Sam's Desperate Rescue is actually a nice pick up there because you can pitch one of these and get it back later. You can also get back our powerful cards if we lose them. And it also is another way of enabling the Ring tempting us here. So this is a nice 24. I think we want to play 16 land with this deck, and we're pretty happy with it. Curve's decent, got some powerful cards. Denethor and King of the Oathbreakers, obviously the best of those. And we'll just shave one mountain here. And yeah, I think that it's right to run 7 of these. So we have 8 black sources, but most of our black cards are much later. We want access to white early, so happy with this, and I'll see you for game number 1. Alrighty, here for game number 1. This hand is going to be a keeper. We have the Took Reaper on turn 2, and we have Protector of Gondor as well. And Sam's Desperate Rescue is also going to be a nice one. And now on turn 3, we'll be able to get a red for Fear 5 foe if we don't have another play. So, not the worst hand here. Although now we're just going to slam down Eowyn and give Took the old Vigilance. So we want to give Vigilance, and now we just get in. I mean, this is fine. Like, it would be good to be able to, have the flexibility of casting this, but we can always just do it on the next turn. Boromir, Warden of the Tower. Really, really solid one here. But, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and give Vigilance to Eowyn. And just get in with Eowyn here. And then next turn we're going to be able to Protector of Gondor. This turn we'll Protector of Gondor. We'll be able to sacrifice the token to use Lash and also go and get a mountain here. Boromir is really, really strong, obviously. So whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, you counter it, and you can sack it to give all your creatures indestructible. And the ring tempts you. Really flavorful. I love this card. Probably slightly more of a constructed card, given the first ability isn't amazing, but still a 3/3 Vigilance for 3 with a mass indestructibility effect is awesome. Super strong card. So Mirkwood Spider comes down. This actually makes it a little bit interesting because what we can do is just give first strike to Protector of Gondor. Attack, if they manage to kill it, we'll Sam's Desperate Rescue it back. And then we can actually Fear 5 foes to set this one up here. So I think we just go ahead because the Fear 5 foes will 2-for-1 them here. So we'll give first strike. And if they want to just trade the Boromir here, which I didn't think they would want to do. So now I can just go ahead and we still theoretically actually could just kill the Boromir and then just Fear 5 foes their next creature. I think I like that a little bit better. So go ahead and sacrifice this 1/1 to kill Boromir, and then we're going to get the mountain for Fear 5 foes and hopefully just kill whatever their next play is and the Mirkwood Spider at the same time. Ship the turn. Enraged Huon. So now I actually have to draw a land here to make this work. We'll just go ahead and get the mountain anyway. If we draw land, great. If we don't, we have another option here. So opponent is looting. So that's actually pretty unfortunate, the way this played out, but maybe we should have just killed. We shouldn't have killed there and held it, because Fear 5 foes can't deal with this now. We can just attack with Took Reaper and sacrifice the Took, which I think we want to do here. The other option is to just sack the Protector, to sacrifice the Protector of Gondor instead. I don't think we really want to do either. Because we could... I think we're happy to sacrifice the Took Reaper here, actually. And just give it Vigilance. Attack with it. If they choose to block, then we'll kill both our creatures. It's still a 2-for-2. And we're not going to Sam's Desperate Rescue it back, but eventually we'll be able to turn on the loot with our ring. And ideally give it to the 1/1. If they don't block here, then that's absolutely fine. As well, we just get him for 2 free points of damage. So probably thinking as well, there's nothing that really this screams of, so I can understand why they're not blocking there. And now I think we just pay this for 4. Target the Enraged Huon, and it's still a 2-for-2, so Not the greatest Fear 5 foes of all time, but we're just setting ourselves up for the next turn here. We can still, bash Protector of Gondor, trade it, get it back, and then use Shire Sheriff to sack the token. So interesting to see what opponent has here. Faramir is obviously a very solid one. Whenever the ring tempts you, they can create a 1/1. So now we're just going to bash in here. Just give Vigilance to Protector of Gondor. We actually want to incentivize them to trade here. They can't block Eowyn, so that their only option is to trade, which is just awesome for us because now we can actually use our spells. So we can Sam's Desperate Rescue back Gondor, which enables Shire Sheriff and also makes Eowyn a looter on attack. So that turn worked out really well for us. A bit unlucky for the opponent there. That was sort of our sequence. And now if we draw a land as well, Eagles of the North is just going to be turning us into dealing 9 damage. So that'll be really solid for us. East Farthing Farmer is also fine. So yeah, now we're just going to either Eagles of the North or Shire Sheriff here. So what we'll just Shire Sheriff first. Sack the 1/1 to exile their 2/3. Looks like they have Hobbit Sting here. That's actually pretty nice. And now we'll just give Eowyn Vigilance and just bash with both. Gives us the option here. So we can keep the planes. I mean, we're going to plane cycle anyway, but I think we'd rather have they have less information here. So, and also thin our deck by using the Eagles of the North. So we'll just go ahead and bash in. End the turn there. The other option as well is we can just, depending on what they play, we can just not Eagles of the North. And we can save it for just wait till we draw a land naturally or draw a card that we want to pitch. Because the 2 flies in against green-white are probably actually going to be a nice little way of closing this game out. So Arwen here. So Arwen has an indestructible counter on it, where you can remove it, and another target creature gains indestructible till end of turn, and you put a +1/+1 counter and a lifelink. Okay, so we're going to need actually both of these Eagles here. So we can't actually attack into Arwen other than with Protector of Gondor. So Protector of Gondor with first strike, if they double block here. No, but what they can do is they can just move it onto this. Get it for free. So yeah, it's actually really awkward now because we really do want to just get the Eagles down. But we can't do that this turn. So I think we just play Grima Wormtongue and we just have to try and slow this game down and wait till we draw the land to get the flyers in the air. Arwen's just such a busted card. The fact that you can just hold this, it blocks anything. And then whenever you like, you can make something else indestructible. And so now actually, okay. Oh no, we still can't attack because it doesn't work. Yeah, we don't actually have any attacks here still. So we could attack with both, but they just block here and they block here with the indestructible. And there's nothing that we can do. So the consideration this turn is whether or not we want to play the Eagles. We want to cycle the Eagles, or we want to wait for a land. I think there's still a chance that it's right to just wait for land to get our 2 flyers online. Because Arwen and East Farthing Farm are actually doing an amazing job of just gumming this board up for us. And we're on a high enough life total that we're not under pressure. So we can take the long way around here. Arwen's certainly a reason to play green. And play green-white. The opponent's deck's pretty sweet. They've got Boromir, Faramir, Arwen. A lot of really strong cards here. The other thing as well, actually, is if we get the ring tempts us, and the one ring as well. So opponent's got protection from everything this turn. They can draw cards. They're going to start losing life with the ring, but awesome card. We just love the one ring. It's just such a sweet... This card's had an amazing effect in Modern as well. It's just been such a strong card. So now Aaron Rider of Gondor is solid. We get the legend that we wanted. So we get to draw a card. It's another body on the battlefield to put pressure on. And there's the extra land that we needed. So now we can say go. We're not attacking here because... We're not attacking here because they've obviously got protection from everything. They're going to start losing life to the ring, but it's very slow. Like, they'll lose 1 life. They'll get to draw 2 cards next turn, and they lose 2 life. It will slowly whittle them down, but it's not as punishing as it potentially looks when you first read it. It's just such a strong card. Also love that this is the first time I've actually seen it on Arena. They've sequenced this wrong. They should do this after. So they've taken 2, whereas you can actually just let it resolve, take 1, and then tap it and put it down. But that's certainly not something we're going to be complaining about here. Eagles of the North is going to be sort of our way of trying to win this game here, which is sort of what we flagged before. But now opponent has 6 cards. We're going to have to get down before they do. They also have to find a way to kill us before the ring kills them. And they can't gain life with Arwen because of Grima Wormtongue. So the ring actually is going to whittle them down quite nicely. Like, next turn they're going to take 2 down to 7. And then we'll attack them for 4 with this in the air. And then after that, the turn after that... So they'll go down to 7, we'll hit them for 4, and then they'll just die to the ring. So we're actually in a not bad spot here at all. Torment of Golem is an option, but we just want to get Eagles of the North down and just say go here. But actually, Eowyn attacking is not the worst here. We can just give it Vigilance. Oh, no. Sorry. Arwen can just block because Arwen's indestructible. So, Arwen's just doing absolute work here. So now now they're just dead if they can't kill Eagles of the North. And at this point, like, the cards actually don't matter because they don't have enough mana to cast all their cards. So their, like, effective card sizing is not as high unless they can either kill Eagles of the North or they can't. And they've also got to focus on trying to kill Grima. So, a few things going on here. If they do kill Grima, in response, we'll just take out Protector of Gondor. But, if they use Arwen, if they can kill target creature you control, deals damage. So we'll go ahead and sacrifice the Protector of Gondor here. It's not going to give us a 2-2, but it does. So now they get to... It deals damage. They still can't gain life, though. So they are going to gain... If they attack this turn, they gain 8 life, down to 14. But they do put themselves at risk on the swing back. So... And Arwen doesn't have Indestructible anymore, so we can trade Aaron Rider of Gondor for it. They also have a food token, so it'll be interesting to see how they attack here. And if they don't attack, they put themselves at risk. We only attack in the air, and then they will just potentially die to the ring. So Fog on the Barrow Downs slows that plan down for us. We have to reassess here. So they gain indestructible until the end of turn. They get the lifelink counter. I think we want to just block here. Although first strike on the crackback. The problem is if we don't block and kill this, then they're just going to keep doing it. So we do need to just... That's a massive punt. Of course, it has indestructible. Oh, just a huge punt there, but we'll try and bounce back now. Yeah, that's just not good at all. Obviously, we just needed to take that one hit, indestructible until end of turn, and then swing on the crackback. But just go ahead and play Eagles of the North here. Give Eowyn Vigilance. We'll get in with that one. And then we attack. We get to draw and discard. So then we just pitch Torment of Golem here because it enables us to cast 2 spells next turn and still cycle a land. So they're still, slowly getting chipped down by the One Ring here, but I think that punt's kind of going to cook us because we could have attacked with the Arid Rider of Gondor as well with first strike, and it would have been a 4-2, and it would have put more pressure on them as well and left them much lower, but now they're going to get to attack with Miramir. Just so much text on this. Such a strong card. So Shire Sheriff now as well. I mean, yeah, they're just absolutely going off here. And that has Vigilance. So, I mean, we can actually get it back from Banish from Adoris. So, that's actually not the worst. It's not great for us, obviously. Now the cards really do come into play here. So, Arwen just getting to get in. They're going to start gaining a bunch of life. And we don't have the body there. Like, now we would actually want to trade for it. And Woe's Pathfinder is going to be a house. All of this stuff is just not good for us at all. The One Ring just taking over here. So now I think, we can exile Miramir Guardian, but I think we just need to get back our flyer. Need to get back the flyer. And then just cast Shadow Summoning. So give Vigilance to Eowyn here. And look to get in. Pretty unlikely we're going to be able to win this one. Pitch to the land. It looks like opponent has something here. Oh, they probably just have the trigger here for this. So they're going to double block. They can't because of first strike. They don't really need to as well with their high life total now. And all this lifelink that they've got. I think we're going to have to trade Eagles for Miramir Guardian here. And just get the 1/1s going. We can still potentially get... Oh, no, we can't because of Woe's Pathfinder. So opponent's drawing more. I mean, they've just got so much life. The fact that when they got to kill Grima, I think, was the absolute turn tide there. And now Eagles of the North. Yeah, I mean, that's just going to be a good game. Well played by the opponent. Bit of a punt from us and Ents Fury as well to top it off. That was an absolute slog of a game 1, and I'll see you for game number 2. Alrighty, back again to bounce back here. This hand's going to be a keeper. East Farthing Farmer on turn 3 is fine. We've got 2 removal spells, and then if we draw any of our red sources here, Fear 5 foes, hopefully going to do a little bit more work than last time. That's a perfect draw here. Let's go ahead and just get 1 mountain. We could just do that end step, but, wonderful Magic Arena. It does promote the efficiency. Now we can just sit back and relax and wait for our turn. East Farthing Farmer is the kind of card that obviously gets better in multiples, but I think the question will be, do we want to play Grim or Wormtongue here, or the Farmer? I think we'd probably want to play... I think we'd probably just want to play Grima here. It might disincentivize them from attacking because they have to spend that whole turn doing it. But obviously we kind of don't want... we don't want to trade or risk trading either of our creatures here for Goblin Fire Leaper, given that Fear 5 foes can just straight up deal with it. So we'll take one here. They can pump and deal us two, but not too scared about just taking one little bit of damage there. Up against Black-Red, so obviously the boogeyman of the format here, the best deck. And now Dunlin Crabane. So now, you know, we could Fear 5 foes here and take out that army. The whole shebang. But I think we just want to play East Farthing Farmer and just hold here for a second. Grim or Wormtongue becomes a 2/5, can bash in, and Farmer can, you know, block the rest of this board here, other than the Goblin Fire Leaper. Though we can just trade one for one, but I think, you know, we want to try and set them up to come out more and hopefully play a better creature to kill that Orc, or, you know, they might amass something else onto it, make it a 4/4, and we can kill it here. The only risk is if they have Torment of Golem. There's maybe an argument there to just play Fear 5 foes and clear that board. So Ugluk here, you know, this is really nice because now we can just kill Ugluk and the rest of their creatures here. So I'm going to do 3 to Ugluk. Wipe the board there. And it can deal 1 damage to the Farmer. Or 1 to Grima. And now we can just bash with East Farthing. Sorry, we'll just bash with Grima here. We don't want to offer the trade yet. And now next turn we can play Denethor. And we can start setting up. You know, we might trade East Farthing Farmer for Denethor here. Start draining them. Or we can just play King of the Oathbreakers instead. That seems like a much better plan. So King of the Oathbreakers is going to come down. And we'll just say go again. You know, Black-Red has very few ways to deal with this, because whenever it becomes a target of a spell, it phases out. You create a tapped 1/1. If they don't have any flyers, they can't really deal with it in combat. So we can just start bashing them for 3 a turn, and we've got the ground pretty gummed up here. Shire Scarecrow is just effectively a mulligan on this board, so that's not a problem. Fear 5 foes just straight up killing 3 cards effectively, like 2.5 cards. It's just so nice for us. So now, you know, I think we can just block and see what this trick is. It's probably like Shelob's Touch or something like that, but not too concerned about that at this point. Especially like given that they're constrained on mana, if they want to, if they wanted to, right? So Orcish Bowmasters. Okay, so they're using Bowmasters here to pick it off. That's fine. Orcish Bowmasters, super solid card. Such a good card. So Haunt here coming down as well. Wow. Fear 5 foes who just shreds this deck. We don't really have many ways to draw 2 cards, so Orcish Bowmasters shouldn't do a whole lot more than what it's already done here. So now we want to draw. Eagles of the North is a nice one, but we'll start things off by getting King of the Oathbreakers in. And then I think we just play Denethor here and say go. We don't need to kill Bowmasters. We just don't have any ways to really draw additional cards other than them triggering it. And now Denethor and Grima can work together to, mitigate the effect of any removal, because if they try and kill Denethor, we get a 2-2, they'll lose a life. And then if they try and kill Grima, we'll sack it and get a 1-1. And we can start the 1-1 chain going. We've also got Oathbreakers just whittling them down as well. So now they get Rosie. So opponent's deck's nice. They get a food token. They get to put a 1-1 counter on something. But it's not really doing a whole lot here. We may actually just kill Rosie to stop them from... there's not a whole lot of more counter creators, but it's just the sort of one risk of this getting a bit out of hand. I think it's likely they have Shelob's Death Touch here. So we'll just go ahead and take 2. Because the black stayed up. And so I think they have the ability to give this Death Touch, make a food token, put the 1-1 counter on it. All those things we don't really want to happen. So now we could banish from Adoris here. We can just... I think we can just banish the Rosie. It's pretty nice. Or we can just play Eowyn. It's an option to just play Eowyn and sack to this. I think that's actually a pretty decent line here. Is we just play Eowyn. We sack Eowyn as well. Because we get the 2-2 and then we get Denethor as well. So we start our Denethor train rolling. On the end step, we create the 1-1. And now the board's pretty gummed up and we can pay 2 mana to sack this every turn. If opponent swings out a little bit more, we can get frisky with Eagles of the North. And we still have 2 removal spells as well. So hopefully we're set up here to sort of take control of this game. Hopefully they don't have any ways to get Rosie going out of control. We'll just have to wait and see. With them only having 4 mana as well, it's not... it's not like they have the potential, hopefully, to do anything super busted this turn. And again, we can still, if they kill Grima, we can still drain them for 1. So there's still a fair few options here. And we're not really at threat of the Orcish Bowmasters going to town. Bowmasters is one that I haven't had the opportunity to draft yet. And it is just an absolutely busted card. You can do so many nice things with it. So here comes Dunlin Crabane. So that amassing, so Rosie doesn't trigger, which is good for us. This is a food token. Happy to just block here. Actually, I'm very dumb because I knew that they had the ambush. Now it is our turn. So we can at least... we can fog... So we can fog the Dunlin Crabane here, I think. So I think we just fog this. We can lash something if we want to. I don't think we need to. I think we can just attack with King of the Oathbreakers and just continue getting in here. The reason for fogging is we just don't want them getting any blockers. Yeah, we really shouldn't have blocked there because there was absolutely no need to. We just take the damage. Or, we block with the 2 tokens there. Now I will just block here in case they have a way of making a token. They might have another one, but we just mitigate the chance there that if they have like one way to make one token, we can sort of stop it. Hopefully King of the Oathbreakers is just going to get there. Denethor is a bit of a problem. In that they can't gain life though. So I think here we just Eagles of the North. And then we just get in with the Oathbreakers here. And then next turn we have 2 lethal threats as well in combination with Grima. So hopefully this is enough to close this one out. Opponent had a nice deck, but we managed to get there. They were a bit stuck on mana, but that's a good win, and I'll see you for game number 3. Alrighty, back again here for game number 3. This hand's definitely a keeper here. We've got Aaron Rider of Gondor. Sorry, we've got Lotho into Errand, into Shadow Summoning and Shire Sheriff, where we can double spell to create the token, sack it to Shire Sheriff. So this hand's a bit of a dream here. Birthday Escape from the opponent here. But we'll just go ahead and get things going with Lotho. Aaron Rider of Gondor. Hopefully if they can't kill this, we'll just draw us a card. We want to play this pre-combat. Actually, we probably want to play it post-combat so they don't kill it beforehand, but absolutely don't get punished there. So now, let's go ahead and bash. An opponent is already under a little bit of pressure, and this little combo will hopefully get them under even more. Darlin Crebain, that's a nice one. But here I think we just Shadow Summoning and then follow it up with Shire Sheriff. It triggers to create the treasure token. We sack treasure and we exile the Orc army, and then we just bash with Aaron Rider of Gondor. And now as well, we don't have to worry about the Sheriff. It just takes out the 2/2, and we can just bash with it as we like. We've got some creatures to deal with, to sack to the Lash of the Balrog here. Eowyn is quite a nice one here, because we can just play Eowyn. And then I think we just want to give First Strike to Lotho here, so that they can only trade for one creature with the Orc. We get to put as much pressure on them as possible. So opponent can basically, they can trade the Darlin Crebain for a 1/1 flyer, and then they should probably trade the Orc army for Aaron Rider of Gondor. They take 5. We put them to 10, and then we have East Farthing Farmer, and we either have another spell in hand. But wow, so they're not going to block with Darlin Crebain. I think that's a mistake. I think you, unless there's something in their hand that I'm just not aware of, I think you need to just avoid taking all the damage there. So they got Claim the Precious here for Eowyn. So that's maybe why, so they can just hold it. Okay, so they're going to take 6 here. Unless they have the Black Breath card in their deck and they're trying to find that. Aaron Rider of Gondor. So let's just go ahead and attack. And then play another Aaron Rider. Draw another card off Lotho. And then if we draw land, we can play Took Reaper. Now as well, opponent is in the range where they can't really afford to cast 2 spells a turn because they'll take too much damage off Lotho, but I don't think there's anything in the set that can really bring them back from this pretty busted start from the deck. Yeah, I think that they're a little bit stuffed here. And that's win number 2, game number 3, and I'll see you on the next one. Alrighty, on to game number 4 here. This hand's really interesting because we've got the mountain. So we can't cycle this. We which means we can't guarantee cast Aaron Rider of Gondor. But I think the upside here is high enough that we just keep. We get 2 draw steps to the land. And if we do hit a land, then we get to have Fear 5 foes. We can play Grima into Aaron Rider. So, a few little options. Another cute little one is, if we draw 2 lands, we can always put the mountain back and then cycle for it. But yeah, this hand... I was going to say this hand gets punished if we don't hit a land, but we do hit the land. And now this hand is fantastic. Opponent also took a mulligan. And Easterling Vanguard is not amazing on this board. So now again we can just run out Grima. There's no need to show them the red yet. We don't want to do that, and hopefully we'll just be drawing a card off of Aaron Rider Gondor. Because Oliphant is actually probably going to be pretty good in this game if we can just cast it. So I think they're looking here at just, yeah. So that they're going to 2-for-1 themselves, which is fine for us. But it does mean that we can't take advantage here. I think we still just want to throw out the Aaron Rider, get this one down. I think we're just going to pitch. Actually, Mortal Knife Wounds seems pretty good here. I think we can just pitch this East Farthing Farmer, keep our removal spell here, and next turn we can play Protector of Gondor, which will be good with Oliphant, and we've still got Fear 5 foes. So, opponents hit their second colour. We've got a Denethor. So Denethor is nice. And so, yeah, we're just going to we're Shadow Summoning first, and then Mortal Knife Wound the Denethor. So now they can keep old Denethor around, but they just have to pay 2 life every turn. And they're probably not going to want to do that. Or they are going to want to do that. So, okay. So the Corrupt Sheriff comes down. Now they presumably sack the 1/1 here. And they're just going to cycle 1/1s, but they're taking 2 every turn. So that's fine. I think we can just get in the air. I don't think this works out for them long term because they're just losing life every turn to it. And we're going to slowly pick it up. Yeah, so they got to drain us for 1, the cost of 1 life. And I think that's more relevant for us than it is for them. But now, the double Dunedain Blade. So they can suit up here. And they can get in. But Fear 5 foes is coming at some point. So whichever one they suit up, we can just kill it and bash with the rest. And it'll put opponent on a pretty big downside here. So we can Aaron Rider of Gondor, but I think we just put them under so much pressure if we just do this. So yeah, let's just go ahead and just kill both their creatures, play our land, and just bash in for 9 here. And then Oliphant next turn, or Aaron Rider of Gondor. And we're pretty well set up to hopefully close this one out. That's going to be the win number 3, and I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, here on to game number 5. This hand's going to be a keeper. We've got Shy Terrace to go get black, Oliphant to get red if we need it. With 4 lands, I think there's an argument to just holding the Oliphant for now. And if we had a draw on black there, then we could have just held it. But now I think we have to go and get black as opposed to red. Yeah, I think we just go get black here. I mean, there's an argument to just getting red, and then we can filter with Aaron Rider of Gondor. which I actually don't hate doing. I think we might want to just have the upside of errand. Then wow, we get pretty lucky with, of getting the red. We get pretty lucky there. We can go ahead and pitch this one. And now we've got Denethor, Golem's Bite, Snarling Walk here. So Grima Wormtongue is fine here. Just go ahead and attack because we can Golem's Bite it if we want to. Yeah, so no, we don't want to do that. And then now we just, yeah. So we're going to Protector of Gondor. They can make this their Ring Bearer, which is obviously nice for them. It's going to do a ton of damage to us. I mean, it's a menace 3/4, and next turn it's, oh jeez, so it's going to do 6 damage to us this turn actually. So yeah, we're absolutely copying it. The Call of the Ring is just doing work here. So I think we actually do want to double, just sack it, but I think it's worth just double blocking. We save 3 life. Gondor has to die, but yeah, there will be casualties in war. And now I think we just get in with Aaron Rider. We've just got to try and turn off the ring here. And we trade, but we get to Denethor and get a 1/1 back. And then we can Oliphant next turn. So not in the worst spot here. Just got to kill all our creatures. I mean, they've got unlimited ring temptings here. And yeah, I mean, March from the Black Gate's a nice one. What would be really nice to hear would be to draw Fear Fire Foes. It's not going to be though. So instead we're just going to have to cast Oliphant. But then we can set up, hopefully, some nice attacks here with the Oliphant. Though this 1/1 is now going to get in. We can't really block it. So we don't want to lose Denethor. So they've pitched Golem here. So no blocks from us. We're going to take 5. The Ring Bearer is just going to quickly do work here. They do need something to deal with the big elephant. And the 1/1 here. Nazgul is a fantastic one to deal with our big elephant friend. They can draw a card with the ring. Not going to pay 2. Fear Fire Foes is an awesome draw here. So we can do this for 3. So do this for 3, and now Denethor can't really be blocked. So we can make all of our creatures quasi-unblockable here. As in they have to trade, sorry. So going to gain life. They're at 18, but they're taking a lot of damage here. So we could drain them here. I think we just want to get another body on the board. So let's just go ahead and get another body down. Now they're going to get another tempt, but the other one's under pressure here, so they can pay 2, but that's pretty dangerous. They've got 2 cards in hand. I mean, they can sack, they can attack with this and then sack. But, oh, Quick Beam. Quick Beam is very nice. I don't know if they should not be attacking. I mean, we just don't block here. And now they're just dead. Yeah, so okay. So, Eagles of the North, I think, actually does more damage than anything else here. So let's just go ahead and Eagles. Everyone gets first strike. Bash with everyone. They have to block Oliphant, and they're just dead to everything else. So that's the win. Managed to actually, that's a really nice win against Call of the Ring and a really solid green-black deck. 4 wins on the trot after that brutal game 1. I'll see you in game number 6. Alrighty, back for game number 6. Let's see if we can get 5 in a row here. Took Reaper is into Aaron Rider of Gondor. Is not the greatest of starts, but it's certainly not a bad one to have a 2 and a 3 drop. Oliphant, all our colours. Can't complain with this hand. And we're on the play, so opponent can see we have a nice little land cycler, which is one of the downsides of Arena, but nothing we can do about that. At turn, let's go ahead and took Reaper it up. At least they won't know which one we have. This is the only upside I can say there. Up against another green deck. So we are playing in gold here. Again, just been super busy with work, but not really an excuse. We will play Aaron Rider first here. And now we can put a card in our library. So, I think we want to actually just put East Farthing Farmer in. And then we'll just go ahead and attack. There's actually an argument there to just playing East Farthing Farmer, attacking, making Farthing legendary, and then drawing a card off Aaron Rider. I think that's probably actually a better line. But yeah, we are in gold. We've had a busy run at work. Haven't been able to play as much as they normally do. And now Peregrine Took comes down. So they're going to have a lot of ways to create food. We are going to start off by bashing with Aaron Rider here. Getting in. And now I think we just want to Morgul Knife Wound the Peregrine Took. They probably will keep it around for 1 turn, I'd imagine. To get some food down. But that's just going to drain them, for a while, and then they're going to have to use it. So they can attack here with the Halfling to make 2 food. And they can attack with the Mushroom Watchdogs, but they don't actually want to do that yet. So make all that food. And then I can sack them to the Watchdogs. We just want to draw some removal here. I think we're going to cycle one of these so we can get the lands. No blocks from us. The question is, which one do we want to cycle? I think it's actually going to be against green. White, I think we will cycle the... No, we can't cycle Oliphant because we've already got the mountain. So we need to cycle this one. So let's cycle Eagles of the North here to get a Plains. Now, Shire Terrace. So now let's go ahead and put this one down. We can give Aaron Rider first strike here to get in. Opponent has something here. So they have lost a legend. Yeah. Lost a legend is fine. We can still just get in with the 3-2. We're happy to trade it for the Brandy Buck here. So they're going to take 2. Probably exiled at this point, I would think. This is definitely better one. Oh, so they're taking another 2. I mean, they're getting all the food, so maybe it's actually fine for them. This is definitely one of the better green-white historic token starts that I've seen. Question is, are they going to be able to deal with Oliphant? The other thing as well is, if we can just kill this Watchdogs at any point, we're probably pretty favoured to win the match. And that's kind of the problem with the deck, is that you need a lot of parts for it to work really well. But, if you just take one of them away, then it doesn't work anywhere near as well anymore. So I think they should have sacked this food here to give it vigilance. So whenever we cast a spell that targets Legolas, you put a 1/1 counter on Legolas. Whenever a spell that deals damage to a creature, whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you don't control, it deals damage equal to its power to up to one target creature. So Legolas is busted. Absolutely fantastic card. We're going to have to cast Oliphant here, but if they have a fight spell, Legolas is gonna do work. So we say go now. They can make watchdogs very big, and they're just gonna keep sacking. Yeah, I think 1 food to effectively mitigate the Morgul knife wound on the Peregrine Took. So maybe putting on Took wasn't the greatest. Maybe we should have put it on the watchdog instead. And now, yeah, Eagles of the North going to do work here. We can still only attack with watchdogs. Probably should sack 1 food. Yeah, to give it vigilance, be able to get in. So sacking both foods here. Getting in for 6. No blocks from us. Fear Fire Foes is a nice draw here. We can clear this. Deal 1 to everything. I think that's what we want to do. We want to take that one out. And then we just want to get in with all of these. Put it on Took Reaper. I can't block with anything except for Peregrine. The Trample's going to help with that. So Fear Fire Foes is a fantastic draw. I think they need to trade some things off here. So Legolas taking 7 here. And probably trade there. I think they should have killed the Oliphant there, but we just want to kill Legolas. We get in for a fair bit. So now it's an Oliphant versus an Eagles of the North, whereas they could have actually killed this and left us with just the Took Reaper, which I think is probably preferable. But pretty lucky draw there to hit Fear Fire Foe. I think we pretty much lose that game unless we draw that card there on the spot. And now we're just going to bash in with Oliphant and hope they don't draw anything there. They have to block. Unless they have something. Well, they do have something. So Bombadil Song, okay. So they still get 2 for 1. We get Lotho. We're going to sack the Shire Terrace here to thin the library. Boromir is a nice one. As is Eagles of the North here, because now Lotho kills it, and then we have a lethal threat in the air. So we've ripped pretty well this game. They've ripped pretty well this game, but looks like we're probably going to come out on top here for win number 5 in a row. Should be pretty nice. And opponent has seen enough. That is win number 5 here, and I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, back for game number 7 here. This hand's definitely going to be a keeper. We can roll out Shire Terrace to get the planes, and then curve Denethor into King of the Oathbreakers. And our opponent has also taken 2 mulligans, so that's a good sign. Hopefully this hand will be good enough to get there against that. Eowyn's also a pretty good draw. And now we could Golem's Bite there, but I think realistically we're probably going to run out the Eowyn because it's just much better to have this be killed than to have Denethor be killed. And then we can get King down, and this will be having Vigilance to get through. So go ahead and give Vigilance here. get in. Unlikely they're going to block here. And now we just slam King of the Oathbreakers. And really against Black-Red, they're going to have a tough time dealing with this. Well, they should have a tough time dealing with this. So hopefully this will be enough to get us there against, you know, a multi-5. You would expect that we probably get to win that one. And I think Torment of Golem can pretty safely come out here now. And yeah, we're going to snatch this Balrog Durin's Bane. And give Vigilance here to Eon. And then just get on in. Grond is a solid one here. I mean, they can crew it with the 4-5, but they're bashing us for 5. Our clock's much faster. It's going to be tough, I think. With the Cirith Ungul Patrol. And now they get in. No blocks from us. And we can just give first strike here so they don't have any good blocks. And now we just play Denethor, and I think we just hold Golem's Bite as well. It's looking pretty likely to close this one out, hopefully. Opponent basically have to hold back the Grond for the defense. They can't get in there. Close that one out. Pretty easy against a multi-5, and I'll see you for hopefully the last match where we go for the trophy. Alrighty, and here we go for game number 8 here. Going for the trophy, very similar hand to our last one there. Denethor into King of the Oathbreakers is solid. Little line, Torment of Golem as well, going to be nice. Here they're going ahead up against a blue-based deck. So can expect some Ring Temps us. It could be blue-black, could be blue-red. Also could be blue-white, but it looks like we're up against blue-red spells here. So they could have Glorious Gale here, but I think it's worth just running Denethor out. It's likely that they probably do have it, but I'd rather this gets countered than King of the Oathbreakers. So they have something there. Not sure what it is. Because if they had Glorious Gale, I would expect them to have countered it. But now I'm wondering. I feel like they still have it and they wanted to counter something else. So I'm actually going to Torment of Golem here over to see what their hand is, take a peek, and then see if we can clear the way. So Saruman's Trickery there, okay. So that's the counter spell that they had, but would much rather that get countered than our King of the Oathbreakers, which hopefully Blue-Red will find difficult to deal with as well. There aren't many decks in the format that really deal nicely with King of the Oathbreakers once you manage to stick it. Opponent there. So let's just go ahead and attack in first, given they didn't attack. They're potentially planning on blocking. It's probably got removal here potentially, but it would seem a bit strange because Deceive the Messenger comes down. It doesn't. Effectively, it's just like a gain 2 life, make your 2/2, make your 1/1 a 2/2. So we'll go ahead and cast this. They might have Smite the Deathless here for Denethor, but we sort of have to cast something, I think. Yeah, so Smite the Deathless comes down for Denethor, but that's fine because we're going to get to return it with the Ring Temps us. And now they have to deal with the Oathbreakers. We don't want to block here because they could have some way of pumping up the Orc Army. Just gotta wait and see. We just don't want to get this in combat at all, but they probably know that's. They're probably going to attack, and you just don't want to block here. You just want to hold it, and then next turn we can Sam's Desperate Rescue. Oh, we can't get back Denethor, of course, because Smite the Deathless does exile. Well, that's fine. What we can do is we can cycle this for a land, Sam's Desperate Rescuer back and sort of lock ourselves into being more likely able to attack. Can also lash if we need to and fog something as well. So don't know if that's what you wanted to do there. They get to phase it in, but now we get a 1/1, and so it's a pretty big benefit for us. We just get to attack in, and now we get to cycle this and Desperate Rescue it back. So they know about it now, but we get to make our 1/1 unblockable. And we just pass the turn. We could Fog the Barrow Downs the 2/2, but it makes it a spirit. And it turns off the fact that it's an Orc army, so the next one just goes on top of... They just create another Orc army instead, so it doesn't have the effect of like neutralizing all their amass abilities. So now we're ahead. They're going to get back Treason of Isengard. So now that it's a 4/4, we're probably happy to just take it down, but there's no need to do it this turn. We can do it on the next turn. We want to just slam down the Eagles. It's a faster clock than they have. We hit them for 6 this turn, and then next turn we have 7, and they're only going to hit us down to 10. We know that they're going to be drawing the Deceive the Messenger, so they're just sticking with this plan here of trying to phase out King of the Oathbreakers, but every time it phases in, we get a 1/1. So as long as we can sort of outlast this, we'll keep generating the value from it, and amassing more 1/1s to attack into them. Gandalf's Sanction is a nice one for sure, but that's probably the one they want to be Treason of Isengarding. So now we phase in here, and we can still attack this turn as well. So they can phase out again if they wanted to, but they choose not to. And now we just deceive this. And we'll hold the rest of our lands in case we get to have the ring tempts us to be able to cycle and loot them away. Let's see what opponent has here. They're not going to phase out. If they have another Gandalf Sanction, it will kill us. So we do need to sort of end this one a little bit quickly if possible, but they've got 1 turn effectively now to deal with it, and we have a way to kill any creature. They're going to deceive here. So they both phase out, and we get to phase in 2 more 1/1s. So they're just biding time at this point, but King of the Oathbreakers is just an absolutely busted card. It's so hard to deal with. So they phase it. They deceive their own to get a 1/1. We go to 6. And now they phase back in. We get 2 more 1/1s. And Banish from Adoris. I mean, we could cast that, but I think there's nothing. We'll just attack with 2 at this point so they have a blocker. It doesn't really change the clock, except for these 2 phasing out. We could banish here, but again, like, we're just dead to if they have another Gandalf Sanction, so there's no point. And this is lethal now, so let's go ahead and swing in if they don't have anything. Yeah, they don't have anything. Managed to get the trophy there. A really nice one after a tough first game. We managed to rattle off 7 in a row. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's take one last look at the deck, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more draft videos in the future. We'll be posting a lot more of the Lord of the Rings, as well as some of the other sets that are going to be available on Magic Arena to draft. Hopefully there'll be some Neon Dynasty Kamigawa as well, one of my favourite sets coming up. But this was a sweet one. We had a lot of the black-white rares and uncommons that make it really powerful, and then obviously the nice little splash package here with Fear 5 foes, which was really good for us at multiple points in the video. So yeah, leave a comment below if you have any insights on the draft or any of the games played, and I'll see you on the next one.